Hey friends, welcome back to the channel। आज के वीडियो में हम कुछ इनक्रेडिबल माइंड टेक्निक्स के बारे में बात करेंगे जो आपको कुछ भी सीखने में मदद करेंगे। चाहे आप एग्जाम्स के लिए पढ़ रहे हो, नया स्किल सीख रहे हो या बस इंफॉर्मेशन को रिटेन करना चाहते हो, ये टेक्निक्स आपके लर्निंग प्रोसेस को बहुत बेहतर बना सकती हैं। इमेजिन आप एक केक बेक कर रहे हैं। आपके पास बेस्ट इंग्रेडिएंट्स हैं, मैदा, चीनी, एग्स, बट क्या आप सिर्फ इन्हें मिलाकर एक परफेक्ट केक बना सकते हैं? नहीं, आपको सही रेसिपी और टेक्निक की जरूरत होगी। अगर आप इन्हें सही तरीके से यूज करते हैं तो जो भी आप मेमोराइज करेंगे कभी नहीं भूलेंगे। साउंड्स अमेजिंग, राइट? तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। Let's start with our first technique, the visual learning technique. This technique is based on the idea that our brains are hardwired to process and remember visual information much better than just plain text. Think about it. When you try to recall something, what's the first thing that pops up in your mind? An image, right? Instead of just passively reading through pages and pages of text, try to visualize the information. Imagine the concepts in your mind, draw diagrams, use flashcards with pictures, or watch educational videos. For example, let's say you're trying to learn about the water cycle. Instead of just memorizing the definitions of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation, try to visualize the entire process. Imagine the sun heating up the water turning into vapor, the vapor rising and forming clouds, and then the clouds releasing rain. You can even create your own visual aids like mind maps. Mind maps are a great way to organize information visually. They help you see the connections between different concepts and make the information more memorable. So the next time you're struggling to understand something, try searching for a video on it. Now let's move on to our second technique, the 80-20 principle, also known as the Pareto principle. This principle states that roughly 80% of the results come from 20% of the effort. This applies to almost every aspect of our lives, including learning. Think about a textbook. You might spend hours and hours reading every single page, but in reality, only a small portion of that information is truly crucial for understanding the subject. The 80-20 principle encourages us to identify and focus on that crucial 20% that will give us the maximum return on our time and effort. So how do you apply this to your learning? Start by identifying the key concepts, the most important ideas, and the core principles of the subject you're studying. These are the 20% that you need to focus on. For example, if you're studying history, instead of trying to memorize every single date and event, focus on the major turning points, the key figures, and the underlying causes and consequences of major events. Don't get bogged down in the details. Once you have a strong grasp of the 20%, the rest will fall into place much more easily. This principle can be a game changer in your learning journey, allowing you to learn more effectively and efficiently. Moving on to our third technique, the Pomodoro technique. This technique is a game changer when it comes to managing your study time and beating procrastination. It's a simple yet incredibly effective method that can help you stay focused and productive for longer periods. The Pomodoro technique is all about breaking your study sessions into short, manageable intervals, traditionally 25 minutes in length, separated by short breaks. These intervals are called Pomodoros, named after the Italian word for tomato, inspired by the tomato-shaped timer that the technique's creator, Francesco Cirillo, used. Here's how it works. Choose a task you want to focus on. Set a timer for 25 minutes and work on the task without any distractions until the timer goes off. Once the timer rings, take a short 5-minute break. Get up, stretch, walk around, or grab a drink. After 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break of 15 to 20 minutes. This technique is incredibly effective because it aligns perfectly with our natural attention spans. By working in short bursts, we avoid mental fatigue and maintain a higher level of focus throughout our study sessions. The short breaks are equally important. They give our brains a chance to rest and recharge, making us more alert and productive when we return to our tasks. The Pomodoro technique is a simple yet powerful tool that can help you conquer procrastination, improve your focus, and boost your productivity. Finally, let's talk about the Feynman technique, a powerful learning method named after the renowned physicist Richard Feynman. This technique is based on the idea that the best way to learn something deeply is to teach it to someone else. The Feynman technique is simple but incredibly effective. It involves 4 main steps. First, choose a concept you want to learn. Second, Explain it in your own words as if you were teaching it to someone who knows nothing about it. Third, identify your knowledge gaps. When you try to explain something, you quickly realize the areas where your understanding is weak or incomplete. Go back to your learning materials and revisit those areas until you can explain them clearly and concisely. Finally, simplify and refine. Once you feel confident in your understanding, try to explain the concept again, this time using even simpler language and avoiding any technical jargon. The act of teaching, even if it's just to yourself, forces you to engage with the material on a deeper level. You don't need to find an actual student to practice the Feynman technique. You can teach it to a friend, a family member, or even a rubber duck. This process of verbalization helps to solidify your understanding and identify any areas where you need further clarification. So there you have it. 4 incredibly powerful learning techniques: visual learning, the 80-20 principle, the Pomodoro technique, or Feynman technique. These techniques are not just random tips, they are scientifically proven methods to enhance your learning and memory. Agar aap inhe saath mein use karte ho, to aapka learning process efficient or enjoyable ban jayega. Imagine studying without feeling overwhelmed, remembering information effortlessly, and actually enjoying the process of learning. ये methods आपको न सिर्फ information retain करने में मदद करती हैं, बल्कि आपके overall learning experience को भी improve करते हैं। तो, आप कौन सी technique पहले try करेंगे? Comments में हमें ज़रूर बताइए।